Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, my beautiful people, okay, my quiet ones, my tranquil claws, my, fierce fireflies. It is time for us to gather together. This is my review recap, okay, for Zatima, Season 1, episodes number 9 and number 10, okay? Number 9 was Blurred Lines, and number 10 was To Be Frank. And my first and foremost that I have to put out there, okay, I needed a strong drink for Mr. Nathan. Okay, Nathan is trash. We can throw him away. We can put him in that trash bag, take him outside, tie it up and wait for the daggone garbage truck to come and pick him up and take him to the damn dumpster, y'all. He is a trash daddy. He is a trash husband. He is a trash friend. Trash, 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 trash. If I didn't make myself clear, trash, okay? So, anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this episode and talk all about it, all right? These episodes, I should say. Now, of course, we picked up where we left off. We know that Zach proposed to Fatima, He over here talking about everybody is watching. That's why I don't like those public proposals, all right? I don't give a damn who's watching, right? And that's exactly what, Fatima said. And, of course, she says, look, there's still some things we got to get in order. There's still some questions I have. It's work we got to do and all of that good stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, Fatima, you tell them, because it is. Honestly, like I told y'all, my opinion, this is too quick. We should not be talking about, marriage already, in my opinion. I don't even think they should have moved in as fast as they did. But we are already here. They already did. It is what it is, and we got to roll with it from there, right? And so, of course, we got, Zach talking about, I am nothing without you, okay? Nothing, nothing, nothing. All right? He trying to, put it all the way in and go hard and declare his love to her and how much he needs her and how much she makes him whole and all this other good stuff, right? And so eventually she does end up singing yes, and everybody's clapping and all that, Before that, she was saying like, okay, y'all ain't got to keep looking. Y'all could go head back to eating. And so, Zach basically was like, I'm real, you're real, Zatima's real, okay? And so basically, she was saying she ready for dessert. And it's like, oh, well, you can order whatever you want, but that's not what she want, honey, okay? She don't want nothing off no menu. She want them to get back home. And she talking about some other types of dessert, all right? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. So when they are on the ride home, she looking at her ring and happy and smiling and in a good mood and, loving the vibe. And they start talking about his friends. And Fatima was literally saying everything that I've already said about his friends in my last daggone video, okay? If you have not seen that, go check it out. But literally was breaking it down, especially primarily when it came to Nathan and letting him know that he needs new friends, okay? And that, you need to watch who you around and the energy you have coming around you and stuff like that. You're in a different place now. And sometimes, in all honesty, you guys, we know that friendships can grow apart and relationships can grow apart, right? Either you go up and together or you grow out and apart. Sometimes we just start getting on a different path where we are not, into the same things and looking for the same things and wanting the same things out of life. So I don't know what the history was with, Zach and his friends previous to this, but I said, child, when I first seen them come on the scene and the way they was behaving, it was like, okay, well, now I could kind of understand why Zach was, the whole mess that he was when he was with Daggone Karen, and maybe even why he ended up in Daggone jail hanging around people like this. And so if you were trying to take yourself into a different place, you might need to, reevaluate and change some things up. Not saying you still can't be with them, but maybe just setting boundaries and letting them know that it can't be that same way, right? And, some people just don't want to grow up. They stay stuck. And so if you're steadily growing and they're still back where they was when we was in daggone elementary school, high school, college, whatever, that's definitely something that you need to reevaluate, right? And all of a sudden she seems a little bit okay with Tony, right? Maybe still trying to figure him out. And she's actually seeming like she's even comfortable with Nathan now, which was really different because we know that from the beginning she have not been too crazy and then has been real skeptical about him. And they actually open up and even talk about the whole thing that went down with Bryce and how, he was over here asking Zach, is he bisexual and all that different kind of stuff. So I love the fact that they are so open with each other when they do communicate and when they are open with each other and on the same page. Their vibe is even better, right? You can tell that they would be a very strong couple as long as they keep that open communication and dialogue with each other, right? And, she definitely was saying like she has a problem with him being a married man with kids and then being out as rageous as he is and doing the things that he's doing as far as Nathan. Like, that's not cool, that's not what's up or whatever, right? And that makes you lose respect on that regard because it's like, this is a whole married man and that's how he out here behaving. It's not even like he's single. And so I was agreeing with her with everything she was saying in reference to that. And then when they get home, you have freaking Deja out here, she's annoying me because she's just coming on too thirsty. It was like, girl, what was you doing before you moved over here? She want to talk about she's having problems with the car. And she wanted Zach to either take a look at it, see if he could fix it, or give her a ride. Fatima's like, girl, can't you just call somebody? Like, what, like, that's not our daggone job, right? And plus she's saying Zach is like dressed up and like, nah, he can't, definitely go and be trying to fix on no car and no suit. So she was telling Zach to go in and change or whatever. And of course, Zach is scared to even leave her out there with her. And, he over here trying to get the pocketbook away from her because he know how, that gun is always there in that pocketbook. And when he goes in to change, basically Deja says something along the lines about, she was running late and she wouldn't have been able to like wait and have somebody come and bring her back and all that different kind of stuff because it's late. And I'm saying, what does that have to do with Zach? That's not his obligation. At the end of the day, he's your landlord. If something goes wrong inside of the apartment, then that may be his job to either fix it himself or send somebody to fix it. But outside of that, he has no obligation with your personal needs. That's still for you, to figure it out. Like, you're pushing it. And so come to find out when Zach goes in to change and, Fatima goes over here and she's looking at this car, she's basically seeing that this is all BS and fun and games with daggone, Deja. She done pulled out some daggone plugs or switched some plugs around some kind of way and whatever else to make it look like it's something wrong. And so Fatima kind of gives her like one more warning, child. Like, try me one more damn time, all right? And then when Fatima goes in and she goes upstairs, she sees Zach in like this t-shirt and shorts. And she was like, I know you didn't think you was going outside nowhere like that, okay? And she basically puts him on that it's all game and that he got to stop being so naive when it comes to Deja and falling for stuff. Because if not, it's going to be some problems, basically, right? And, she was looking at him and talking about how he had this imprint. So, she don't know how he thought he was going to be walking outside like that. And he was like, yeah, but you like it, right? And she basically like, you damn right I do. Like, get your behind on over here, okay? So they could go ahead and get into what they was trying to get into in the first place. And, let's get it on, okay? Let's get it on and popping. And so basically, when they wake up that next day, Zach basically was making some jokes and comments like, come on, girl. He was like, every time you go to bed and wake up, all of a sudden you got daggone makeup on your face. Like, you wake up to put makeup on your face and then you go and you lay back down. And that kind of reminded me of, one of the last episodes when he was like, you ain't going to lay in no damn bed and you still got your makeup on your face and got your wig on. You ain't even wrapped that wig up. That made me laugh so hard, right? And so apparently Fatima's like, just making sure she go to bed a certain way and making sure she wake up a certain way. Child, I don't know how long you going to do that, okay? And that's something I don't do. You going to see me as I am. I'm not going to be looking good and feeling good every daggone day. I don't do the whole you got to be in makeup every single time, and I don't do the cute little, I can't eat or in front of you and all that. Now, I'm going to tear my food up and you going to see me the way I am, especially if we sitting here talking about we getting married. So I agree with Zach there and whatever, right? But I thought that was funny. And then we had, Zach basically telling Fatima that he's going into this business with Bryce. And again, it was like all of a sudden we got a U-turn with Fatima because she's been real skeptical of Bryce. She's had a lot of comments about him, and I, for one, have not been blaming her. Just the fact that he was working with Gary and all that other stuff. But now it seems like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. That sounds like a good idea, telling her all about how they supposed to be going in 50-50 and all of that. And so then she was saying she got to get herself together, and she goes to go in the bathroom, and it's like, well, hey, can I go in there with you? Like if he ready for a round two. And she's basically like, nope, I need to get in here. I need to get ready. And she closes the door and locks it behind her. So he was like, really? You going to stay here and lock the door? Like, you're not going to let me in? She like, nope. And so, wow, would he say this of all things? But he basically was like, oh, well, I bet Deja will let me in. And sure enough, of course, Fatima opens up that door quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the look she gave him, like if looks could kill, he would have been dead. And she ended up basically yanking him inside with her. So, after this, she gets to work and she's asking the girl at the front desk about the results or whatever. And she's saying they'll have them by this afternoon because remember, she's still waiting for these, paternity results or whatever to come in. And, her and Angela end up meeting up and they kind of talk about Zach and Bryce and the fact that they got this business together, and they saying they gonna go look at the office on their lunch break or whatever, right? And so Zach ends up seeing Deja when he's leaving out, and she over here talking about like, yeah, I heard y'all getting it on whatever, right? It was turning me on. I was using my vibrator while I was listening to you and all this different stuff. And so she out here smoking, and he's like, again, just like he told her with the clothes that she had on, like, it's kids around here and you can't be out here like that around them. And she's like, boy, please, like, what I'm saying, they be out here smoking too. Shoot, I done got this from one of them or whatever, right? And as he was about to go ahead and drive off, he ended up stopping and coming back and taking the joint out her hand and just like, stepping on it or whatever and putting it out. Now, as Deja's going back in her house, all of a sudden we see a Nathan sticking his head from around the corner. So I'm like, just grimy, I'm telling you, yo. And he go in and is like, oh, well, I don't know if I feel right about this. Like, if you didn't feel right about it, you wouldn't be there. He over here giving her money, and it's like if she wants to try to make Zach want her by being with Nathan or whatever, and Nathan is calling himself proving a point to Zach. I don't know what the heck was really going on with that whole idea there, but in my opinion, they both was damn trash, okay? And so Bryce basically, when Zach gets to the office, is asking him like, are we cool? And Zach is like, yeah, we cool. And Fatima and Angela are on their way to drive there because they had said they was going to be going there on their lunch break. And so Angela basically finds out about the engagement because Fatima's like, oh yeah, basically got her hand up on the steering wheel and saying something about look at the steering wheel. It's like, oh girl, you engaged? And she's like, yeah. It's like, oh, are you sure about that? This is something you really want to do? We already there. And it's like, yeah. But then all of a sudden, Angela's asking about whether Zach is bi or not. And it's like, I don't think that's the question you should be asking. What you really should be asking is Bryce daggone bi, right? And then it's like, well, when I go around him and his friends or whatever, a lot of them seem to be gay. And you're literally kind of telling yourself the answers to your own questions at this point, Angela, as you're talking. And they're discussing, this deal and everything and the friendship that, him and Zach have. And then it's like, wait, did he come home that night hard on because he was turned on by Zach? And it's like, well, I think you and him need to kind of have, a deeper conversation and get into these things, right? Child, these days you got to be asking a lot of questions and having a lot of, serious conversations from day one. And she basically was saying like, oh, well, that could kind of make sense, right? I could see a situation like that because I'm a lot older than him and these younger people, things are so different today and all of that different kind of stuff. Nonetheless, in the meantime, while they driving to get there, you got, Bryce and Zach looking at the sign that they got for the business and setting everything up and discussing their deals and all of this. And Bryce basically goes in for a kiss, which is like, if Zach already made himself clear and if you was like, you cool, yeah, I'm cool, we cool, Why would you go in for a kiss? You know, you playing yourself with that. I wouldn't give a daggone whether it's a woman to woman, man to man, man to woman. Once we say we're in this business together and it's supposed to be about work, and we're saying we're friends or whatever the case may be, and we're saying there's nothing to do with anything sexual, you should not be coming that way no matter who you are. That was completely out of pocket. And so, of course, Zach just reacts and ends up punching him, knocking his daggone behind out on the daggone floor. And at this point, you got Fatima and Angela walking in the office like, what the hell? You know, so that was basically how episode 9 ended. And then as we transition into episode 10, we have Angela and Fatima like, what the hell is going on here? And Bryce just tries to play it off like, oh, Zach was teaching me a new boxing move or something like that, right? But of course, everybody could tell it's awkward and it's out of pocket. And so Bryce is like saying to Angela like, oh, come on, let me show you my office or whatever. You know, Zach is just trying to look the other way and not even, you know, who paid him no mind. And then when he gets Fatima alone, he hurries up and takes her in his office, and he basically tells her everything that happens, and she starts laughing. But it's like, Fatima, really? Like, you laughing about this situation, but had Bryce been a daggone woman, you wouldn't have been laughing about it, right? And then she basically tells him that, you know, he always finds himself in some shit, and that is real, okay? Some kind of way, Zach always is in problems. It seems like it don't matter whether it's a man, it's a woman, who it is. Trouble just finds him, okay? And so, basically, you know, Bryce and Angela come out from the office, and Bryce is just, you know, trying to act like everything is normal, like nothing ain't big ain't happening. He asking about them going to dinner, but at this point, Zach is like, nah, my stomach is bothering me. Okay, I got bubble guts. I can't go nowhere and eat nothing. So they go ahead and leave, and then when Zach and Fatima's on their way back home and they get by their house, they got Lori, which is Nathan's wife, outside with a damn bat, you know, waiting. And at first the team is coming up to her, and she trying to act like she want to pop off at, you know, Fatima. And Zach had to hurry up and kind of try to stop this before it could even get started, right? And Lori is saying how she's looking for Nathan, how she got this tracker on her phone, and it basically shows that he's over here. And they're like, okay, well, you know, I don't know what's going on or whatever the case may be, but we could go inside and see, because, you know, he shouldn't be here. We wasn't here. We just them getting home from work or whatever, right? And she ended up going in and looking all around. And of course, Fatima's like, really? Because she's literally looking in cabinets and places that his ass couldn't even fit, okay? And she go all upstairs and everywhere. And when she don't see him nowhere, she basically apologizes. And then Fatima gives her water. You know, of course, Zach explained that she was Nathan's wife and all of that different kind of stuff. And they pretty much thinking that they calming down the situation. And then they were saying, you know, she might need a little air. Like, they, you know, Zach was going to go and open up the back door. And when he went to open up the back door, you know, the little glass sliding door that would lead to the backyard where the jacuzzi is at, who is in there but Deja and Nathan? And Zach ends up seeing it. So of course now he's trying to divert it. He's like, oh, maybe I could turn on the air. He's trying to get, you know, Lori to go ahead towards the front door to get some air and to just leave so that she don't see Nathan and Deja back there in the hot tub. And then he calls Fatima over, and when Fatima look, you know, she ready to get out there and get it popping. So at the same time, he trying to stop her from doing that, and he's telling her to get, you know, Lori out of there. And then he ends up going and walking Lori out the front door, right? And so while he's busy walking Lori out the front door, Miss Fatima, child, which he should have known this, she done ran through that daggone back door like it was nobody business, took off her shoes, went walking over there so fast, I don't know how the hell they didn't hear her or see her coming, storms up, grabs damn Deja out of the damn tub, you know, punches her in her damn head, grabbed her out by her hair and flung her. The whole time Nathan is over here saying, bitch, what are you doing? Like, first of all, no, Nathan, we not gonna sit here and disrespect and be calling nobody no bees when you sitting up in their stuff and you absolutely are in the wrong. Like, at that point, I'm surprised Fatima didn't just start screaming Lori's name for her to come back there and whip on his behind too. So at this point, he's trying to insinuate that she ain't got no, like, rights or authority to come back there and have anything to say to him. You know, Zach said it was okay for him to be there and this is Zach's house type of thing. And she was like, no, this is our house. And then he ends up seeing the ring and he's like, oh, he proposed to you? He proposed to you? Like, that's getting him mad now, right? And she ends up slapping the mess out of him, and I felt like that slap was well damn deserved. And at this point, Zach came like right in the nick of time and stopped it. And Fatima goes to go get damn Lori or whatever. And then as they walking back, Lori is like, wait, is that Nathan's car? Like, what the hell is that doing over here, right? Why is it parked over there for? And so Zach basically is telling Nathan, like, you need to go. You need to go. You know, Zach is always trying to kind of diffuse the situations and stop people from getting themselves damn hurt or whatever, and they never seem to catch on and know what he's doing. And Zach is over here talking about you taking her side. We've been friends since we was 10 years old or whatever the case may be. And Zach is like, I'm trying to save you, okay? This the same daggone thing he was saying when it came to daggone Belinda with her trash ass, okay? It's always the trash people that he be trying to save, and it's like, don't save them. They don't want to be saved, okay? And so Nathan basically gets dressed, and Fatima comes in and was like saying, oh, no, 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 don't get dressed. Don't hurry up and put no daggone clothes on now, right? And Lori is basically standing there waiting for him when he opens the door, ready to haul off and pop his behind in the head with the damn bat, okay? And yelling like, I can't believe you over here cheating on me. And Nathan is over here running after her on some like, baby, I can explain bull crap. And then Fatima and Zach go back in, and she's pissed with him at this point, which I can't blame her. And she's like, oh, so what you was going to do? Just sit here and lie for him and stick up for him and try to cover up for him? And is that what you guys do? Just cover up for each other, whatever the case may be. And they begin to have this conversation where he's basically like, well, how about you not telling Angela about Bryce? And she was like, that's different. And he was like, what exactly makes it different? And they like kind of, going back and forth about that. And then she was like, I see that we are not going to agree on this. Like it was one of those situations where we can agree to disagree type of thing or whatever, right? And then Angela and Fatima was talking, and she's telling her, like, something did happen, but you should talk to Bryce about it. Like she's just reiterating, like, y'all need to sit down and have this conversation, because Angela had called Fatima and was trying to find out why Zach was, so upset or what happened between them. And then Angela was like, oh, but why don't we go out, for dinner, like bringing up dinner again. And Fatima's like, nah, I don't think Zach is ready for that. I don't think he's going to be down for that. And then it's like, oh, well, I'm going to come by your house. And Fatima was like, oh, no, you can't just, invite yourself or whatever the case may be, right? I got to see if it's okay with him too. Oh, well, I thought it's supposed to be your house too. You live in there and you moved in there. And it's like, yeah, it is my house too. But at the end of the day, it's also his house. And if he's literally saying that he don't want to be around Bryce right now, you can't force it either. So that was a little weird to me that Angela was going so hard with that. It's like, girl, take the time and have the conversation you need to have with your man. Y'all could go ahead and talk about this another time. And if anything, Zach can't afford, avoid him forever either, because you're the one that jumped into this, Zach, and wanted to be his friend and was taking him everywhere with you and telling him every daggone thing. He's basically the person that ended up helping you with the SEC, helped you with your house situation, helped you with me and Valerie, helped you now with this real estate thing, and y'all coming together for this business or whatever. So sooner or later, y'all gonna have to have a conversation about this and whether y'all could go forward or not. Because if you're that uncomfortable with him and you're not going to be able to work with him no more, that means y'all got to go ahead and figure out what's going to happen with this whole business that you're behind done jumped into. And that's why you can't really jump into things with people that you don't know. And Bryce needs to check himself too and figure out what the heck he want to do and whether, y'all would be able to work together or not. Because obviously he have a hard time with understanding and comprehending and, being able to control himself and, act a damn professional way when he's at work, where if you already answered him about this and that was supposed to be the end of it and we saying you cool, yeah, we cool, why did you come out of pocket like that, Bryce? You was dead wrong. And so definitely there has to be a conversation one time or another about it. That's the only way that y'all would be able to move forward. And of course now it's going to be mad uncomfortable to do that. And Fatima basically had came out with some beers because Nathan had ended up stopping by and telling Zach like, yo, I heard everything that happened, that's crazy, or whatever the case may be, right? And Zach was kind of giving him a little bit of attitude at first, and he was saying how, they've been together since middle school or whatever, right? Like Pee Wee or something like that, he was saying. So I'm assuming that I'm sorry, not Nathan, but Tony. And Tony was telling him he heard what happened, and he was like, I can't believe that. And Zach was saying, yeah, he really needs to grow up. He does, absolutely, And Tony was saying how Zach and Nathan has been friends since middle school, but it seems like Tony has been friends with him since Pee Wee. So I would assume that Tony has knew him longer. That's what I was, meaning to say. And so he just was like, yeah, you need to tell him something. You need to talk to him because he out here wilding. And he was like, well, I knew that he had got her number, but I didn't know he was going to go and do all of that. Like, yeah, he's doing too much at this point, right? And then Fatima comes out with Biz and say hi because Tony was basically out there helping him, clean out the hot tub, and he says hey to her or whatever, and he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and head out and leave y'all alone, or whatever the case may be, right? And that Zach could call him if he needs him. And so when he left, Fatima was asking like, well, what kind of friend is he, what is he on? And he, Zach was like, he a whole lot better than damn Nathan, that's for sure. And so Fatima basically tells him about the Bryce and Angela and how they still want to come over and all of that, and he's like saying, hell no, like I don't want to deal with that, I don't want to see him, I don't want to talk to him, what part y'all don't understand. And Fatima was basically saying that they need to have this conversation, and they're going to have to talk one time or another. And she just was seeming like she was being way more understanding, like I said, and looking at the Bryce situation completely different now than what she was looking at it before. And more so being the one to be calm and be like, oh, you should give it a chance. Whereas I feel like before she would have just been like, okay, yeah, don't be bothered with him. I don't care because I don't like him or I don't trust him either. And so then when she basically went upstairs, the girl from the, law firm ended up calling her because those results was in, okay. And she basically tells her the results and then was telling her to enjoy the rest of her day. And Fatima was already saying like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the day with how these results are. And you could kind of see the look on her face, so we already knew what it was gonna be. And the next thing she come down and let him know she got the paternity test results, and she basically giving it to him. And of course, between his face and her face, we already know Zach is 99.9%, okay, 99999% a child. The father, all right? You are the father in my Maury Povich voice. So I said, Lord, this going to be a hot mess. Now y'all going to be attached to this damn Heather girl, for the rest of your daggone lives. We already knew she was crazy. She was already trying to get, child support before she even would let him do the damn DNA, which is like, girl, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. But she said she knew that it was his, and obviously she didn't. So that says a lot about you and how you was living your life back in the day, Zach, because you over here talking about, I don't remember her, I don't know her, there's no chance that that's mine. You say with Karen there's a 50-50 chance. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Karen baby end up being yours too. I hope that it don't, but obviously you wasn't as sure as you thought you was, and it's like you could have even ended up with some type of sexually transmitted disease or whatever out here without using daggone protection, getting people damn pregnant, okay? But at least some of those you can take some medicine for. Now this child you gonna have for the rest of your life, and of course some you can't. So that's a lot to take into consideration. Granted, you changing your life now when you're trying to do the right thing, but your past has caught up to you, and this is something that you and Fatima is basically going to be dealing with. So it's going to be interesting going into season 2 and seeing, what they going to do with this there. And also if, this child is going to be included in terms of sisters. I don't know. But yeah, he's the pappy guy. He's the pappy. So that was basically how the episode ended. I like this show overall. I was looking forward to it. I enjoyed it. There was definitely some parts that made me laugh. But yeah, y'all can throw Belinda in the trash. Y'all can throw Nathan in the trash. Yeah. With friends like that, who needs enemies, right? Okay, what about your friends or friends? How many of us have them? Let's be friends, okay? Y'all be careful who y'all be letting up in y'all lives, child. But anyway, that was it. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about this. Let's discuss, okay? Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. All right, y'all. Till next time. Toodaloo.